Hi, greetings everybody. This is a message for Out with Dad. Hello Jason, Kate, who everyone else who participates in making that possible. And hello to all the fans who love Out with Dad and watch it and support it. My name is Nathan Lyle, for those of you who don't know. Hi. And I'm a writer. It's something that I got into when I was in high school. I was dealing with a shit ton of different things. Including I was basically on a daily basis contemplating suicide, and I ended up turning to writing as a way to express all the emotions. I started with writing songs, and that led to writing a movie, which led to writing more movies, which led to writing a TV show, which led to writing more TV shows. And basically now I cannot go 24 hours without working on one of my stories. And honestly, it's hard for me not to write. I mean, everything inspires me now, just life in general. But in the early stages of my writing, one of the things that I did not want to write about was homosexuality. I mean, I have no problems with it. In fact, I do support it. I will speak out in favor of it. But I was avidly against portraying it in my stories. I was afraid to use the topic because I was worried that I, as a straight man, had no right to talk about homosexuality, to have characters who were lesbian or gay or transgender, anything else. And so it's a topic that I did not touch. And then it occurred to me that one of my favorite shows growing up was Seventh Heaven. For those of you who know that show, I mean, it ran for 11 seasons. And in those 11 seasons, I noticed it only occurred to me recently that in those entire 11 seasons, there were two subjects that were not talked about at all: abortion and homosexuality. They did not even attempt to touch those subjects because they knew that it was a show about a religious family, and no matter which stance they took on those topics, they would alienate half their audience. And it kind of occurred to me that by ignoring homosexuality, by refusing to write about it, I was basically like refusing to acknowledge the existence of it. And that was basically, at least in my mind, it felt the same as saying that it shouldn't exist, that I didn't approve of it. And that felt wrong to me. And so I decided I would start including more homosexual characters. I had existing storylines that I converted into gay and lesbian storylines, and started adding homosexual characters, males, females, to stories that already existed. And when I started creating new stories, I would keep in mind, would this be a good time to add something like this? Would this be a good story to tell using two girls, using two guys? And when I started doing that, I mean, I had my own kind of slight experimentation, but I didn't really know too much about it. Like I said, I had my own personal struggles with it, but in the end, I still turned out I was still straight. And so I wanted to know a little more about it. One of the things I did, I mean, turns out there are so many LGBT movies out there, a whole ton. I mean, it shocked me just how many different movies there were with gay, lesbian, or other storylines like that. And it also surprised me how much, I don't know a better word to say this, but there's a lot of smut out there. I mean, this is gonna make me sound bad for saying this, but like one of the first lesbian storylines I ever saw on TV was the L Word. And not that it was a bad story, but I don't want to call it a good story either. And I just think that's not the way that I would want to portray people in general in my stories, much less if I'm trying to make a point, like towards equality and stuff. That's just, I mean, that's just me personally. I don't know how other people might see it. I mean, obviously it was a good thing, I guess. You know, a lot of people watched it. It brought more issues to the forefront that a lot of people didn't see. But at the same time, let's be honest, I think half of the people who watched the show, there's one reason why they watched it. Anyways, you know, as I was going along, I started watching, I kept trying to do more research. I watched a lot of stories about gay guys, gay girls, trying to just find a different handles, see like, oh, this is what's out in the world, this is what's been done, I could like add to this, I could go off in a different direction. I started making an attempt to talk to more gay people, and it turns out they really are exactly like us. There's no real difference. And so for me, that was, I started turning more to the online world, because it seems like in order to get on TV, you kind of need to sell a certain amount of smut just in order to make it on the broadcast airwaves. Well, yeah, that's kind of it. And I ended up going to the internet, and that ends up leading me to things like Out with Dad, Anyone But Me, you know, different stories like that. Honest, heartfelt stories, you know, that are character driven, that are more about the emotions they go through. And you know, those are the kind of stories that I really love and that I want to see more of. I'm sorry if this doesn't make any sense, but it's 1 o'clock in the morning here. I mean, when I upload this, it's gonna be in the afternoon, but yeah, it's 1 o'clock in the morning when I'm filming this. My brain's basically turned itself off. I'm about to go to sleep. But yeah, I saw the videos about contributions and stuff, and I just wanted to say, put more of my thoughts in there and show you my pretty face. And so yeah, that's how I feel about it. And that's why I chose to add my contributions to support Out With That, and I'm definitely looking forward to a 3rd season of that. And for people who don't watch it, you should. It's a really great storyline. And until then, and until whenever, so yeah, hey everybody, who knows, maybe someday one of my stories is gonna end up on here, walking towards it. Until then, I guess just continue to give whatever support I can. At this point, it's going to be more emotional than financial, unfortunately. I have a budget that I have to stick to. Anyways, but yeah, it's 1 in the morning, so if I'm not making sense, I'm sorry. I tried my best, but I was just inspired. I didn't feel like writing it down because I knew it would turn into an entire novel. This seemed like a smart idea at the time. I'm gonna stop talking right now and just say, yeah, those are my thoughts on these subjects. And until then, go watch Out With Dad. Season 1 and 2 are awesome. I have a feeling season 3 is gonna be amazing too, whenever that happens to come out. Jason just loves to keep us waiting. So until then, just yeah, I just want to say that I think everybody should feel free to live the life that makes them happy. Nobody has the right to persecute somebody for something that's beyond their control. We are who we are, and we should live however we feel fit for ourselves. So yeah, I have no idea how to finish, so I'm just gonna say goodbye and good night, or good afternoon, because that's probably when I'm gonna upload this. Whenever you watch it, just good whenever you're watching this. Good evening, good morning, whatever. I'm going to bed. Bye. We'll stick with bye. 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 I don't wanna be a fool for you.